Our story begins in Washington in 1990. Elizabeth Loftus took a call from a lawyer called Doug Horngrad.
His client was George Franklin, and Franklin was accused of murder.
The only evidence linking George Franklin to the murder was his daughter's testimony, and this made Elizabeth Loftus a key witness for the defence. In dozens and dozens of experiments, she demonstrated just how unreliable memory was.
But this time it didn't sway the jury. Yes, Loftus had proved that memories could be altered, but not that they could be invented. Franklin was found guilty of the murder of Susan Nason 20 years earlier and sentenced to life imprisonment. What had convinced the jury was the expert evidence of Leonie Tur, who claimed that Eileen Franklin had repressed her memories of the murder and of years of sexual abuse. In her challenge to the idea of repressed memory, Elizabeth Loftus set out to demonstrate experimentally how false memories could be implanted in some people. This came to be known as the lost in the mull technique from the first study that involved trying to plant false childhood memories in 24 participants. The lost in the mull study, The Formation of False Memories, was published in 1995, and critics were quick to point out some limitations. In the spring of 1997, the memory wars took a new turn. A psychiatrist, David Corwin, wrote about a young woman he called Jane Doe to protect her identity. Interviewed by Corwin, Jane remembered being sexually abused by her mother. But what made this case different was that Corwin also had tapes of interviews 11 years earlier with Jane as a 6-year-old, saying her mother had sexually and physically abused her.
Now, I happened to read about that case because the psychiatrist was not only showing the videotapes, but he also wrote an article about it. I thought it seemed very fishy. And when I ultimately was able to find the Doe family and read all the materials in the divorce file, I became convinced that this mother was completely innocent.